tried some weird foods, but otter? Hey, you're back. I'm glad you're here. I know you're here to hear chapter 22 of David Walliams' The Midnight Gang. Deep fried otter. Doesn't sound very tasty. But if you think that sounds tasty, or even if you don't, and you'd like to learn more, find some of those good books and some good adventures up there in those links. Now, let's go ahead and let's get started with chapter 23, Deep Fried Otter. Breakfast! Children, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! It's breakfast time! This was the cry that woke Tom and all the children in the ward at dawn, just a couple of hours after they had gone to bed. Matron woke up with a start. A chocolate wrapper was stuck to her forehead. What the what? Shouted Matron. It was clear she didn't know if it was day or night, or indeed if she was awake or asleep. Tootsie was the hospital's dinner lady. She was a pleasantly plump woman with a huge afro hairstyle and the sunniest of smiles. As always, Tootsie was pushing her food trolley. Oh no, it's you, snarled Matron as she entered the ward. Yes, it's me, Tootsie, replied the lady brightly. I hope you haven't been asleep on the job again, Matron. Most of the children were sitting in their beds now. Tootsie always made them smile, especially when she took on their sworn enemy, Matron. No, lied Matron. Of course I wasn't asleep. Oh, what were you doing then? Pressed Tootsie. Well, I was just going through a form on my desk, and the writing was very small, so I had to put my face right next to it. Now, get on and serve the children their breakfast this instant. Oh, yes, of course, Matron. As Matron busied herself at the mirror, trying to look presentable, Tootsie wheeled her trolley over to Tom's bed. Good morning! Tootsie strained to read the name that had been written on the board above his bed, so she brought down her reading glasses that were nestled on top of her frizzy hair. Thomas! Good morning, and good morning to you! Tom wasn't sure quite what she had to say good morning quite so many times, but he couldn't help smiling. When the lady spoke, it sounded as she was singing a song. Good morning, said Tom. Good morning, and good morning, she replied. Tom couldn't think of anything else to say, so once again blurted out, Good morning. Good morning! And what a good morning it is! Good morning, one and all! Now, Thomas, what would you like for breakfast? What have you got? Asked Tom. Everything, replied Tootsie. Everything? Asked the boy. It was too good to be true. Everything, she repeated confidently. All the other children chuckled. This was Tom's first morning in the hospital, and clearly they all knew something he didn't. The food at Tom's boarding school was terrible, despite the fees being disgustingly expensive. It seemed as if the food hadn't changed at all since the school was founded hundreds of years ago. A typical week's menu looked like this. Monday, breakfast, gruel. Lunch, poached kidneys. Dinner, calf's head soup. Tuesday, breakfast, pig trotters on toast. Lunch, lard sandwiches. Dinner, stewed lamb tongue. Wednesday, breakfast, leftover stewed lamb's tongue. Lunch, pigeon soup. Dinner, boiled eel. Thursday, breakfast, offal. Lunch, braised swan's neck. Dinner, roast badger with beetroot gravy. Friday, breakfast, sparrow's eggs on toast. Lunch, nettle stew. Dinner, deep fried otter. Saturday brunch, toads on toast. Tea, a horse's hoof with as much boiled cabbage as you can eat. Dinner, smoked bowl. Sunday, breakfast, a raw onion. Lunch, roasted mole with all the trimmings, followed by bone marrow jelly. Dinner, Brussels sprout surprise, the surprise being that it was just a plate of Brussels sprouts. Of course, Tom was delighted by the prospect of being able to have anything and everything to eat. As he gave his order to Tootsie, his mouth began to water. Hot chocolate, oh, with whipped cream on top and marshmallows on the side. A hot buttered croissant, In fact, make that 2 hot buttered croissants, banana muffins, poached eggs with bacon and sausage, 2 sausages, please. Actually, 3 sausages. Brown sauce on the side. And to finish, I think I'll have a plate of blueberry pancakes with maple syrup, please. Thank you so much. Oh, and 1 more sausage. This was going to be the best breakfast ever. So why were all the other children in the ward hooting with laughter? Chapter 24. Goodest Morning. Tootsie answered Tom with a question. Toast or cornflakes? But you said you had everything, Tootsie, replied Tom, bemused. Yes, I know I did, Thomas. The truth is, we've had a lot of cutbacks here at Lord Fund. The hospital is becoming a sad place now. The new principal has slashed the money for the patient's food. No one wants to stay here for a moment longer than absolutely have to. No, I suppose not, replied the boy. And I know from working here for 30 years that it makes the patients happy to think they can have absolutely anything the hearts desire for breakfast. But they can't, said Tom. Tootsie shook her head and sighed. This new boy didn't understand. As long as the patients only ask for toast or cereal, then they can still believe that they can have anything they want. They'll forget they are in a crummy old hospital that should have been demolished years ago and think they are staying in the Ritz Hotel. Tom smiled. Now he understood perfectly and was determined to play along. Why, thank you, Tootsie. You know what? I think this morning I'll just have a piece of toast. I'm all out of toast. Cornflakes, then it is, said Tom. That was my first choice anyway. The boy didn't mind at all. He rather liked cornflakes. I'd like lashings of milk on my cornflakes, added the boy hopefully. Or would you prefer cream? Oh, yes, please. That's a shame. I don't have any cream. Milk is fine then. I don't have any milk either. Have you ever had cornflakes with a dash of cold tea? Asked Tootsie. It wouldn't seem appealing if you had read it on a menu, but the way the lady said it with that musical tone of hers made cornflakes with tea sound absolutely scrumptious. With the flair of a master chef, Tootsie scattered the cornflakes from the box onto a chipped green bowl with a single flick of her wrist. Then, from as high as her arm would allow, she tipped the tea urn and poured the dark brown liquid into the bowl. It splashed all over Tom's bed covers. There we are, Thomas, and I wish you the goodest of mornings. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, repeated Tootsie. Good morning, said Tom again. Good morning. Good morning. If one of them didn't stop, they could go on wishing each other good morning until the end of time. Tom had to step out of the loop and opted for a thank you. No, thank you, said Tootsie. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. It was starting again, so the boy nodded and said nothing. Tootsie nodded back and moved on to Amber's bed. Good morning, Amber. And what can I get you this fine morning? Asked the lady. Good morning, Tootsie. And good morning to you. Let's not do all that all morning again, please. Now, today for a change, I won't have the freshly squeezed orange juice, blackberries or vanilla yogurt and honey, and the pancakes with nuts, whipped cream, and chocolate sauce. Are you sure? Asked Tootsie. Quite sure. I think today what I really fancy is some cornflakes with, let me think, cold tea. Coming right up, Amber! As Tom tried gamely to enjoy this unusual breakfast, he noticed Tootsie lean in and whisper in Amber's ear, Children's footprints and wheelchair tire tracks have been found in the freezer room. What? Asked Amber. The hospital principal, sir. Mr. Strillers was down there this morning inspecting it. Well, it wasn't us, lied Amber, clearly flustered. Oh, I never said it was, dearie. But if it wasn't you, who was it? I don't know, protested the girl. Look, I don't know what you children get up to after dark, but please, from now on, be careful. Thank you, Tootsie. No, thank you, Amber. No, thank you. No, thank you. For goodness sake, woman, please, can I have my breakfast now? Complained Robin bitterly. I'm starving. Yes, of course, Robin, replied Tootsie as she served him a bowl of dry cornflakes. She had run out of cold tea. George got the same and went into a tremendous sulk. Next, Tootsie moved on to Sally. Under her overalls, she had concealed a small white paper bag. Don't tell the others, whispered Tootsie, but I brought you an iced bun all the way in to work. Thanks so much, Tootsie, whispered Sally. Would you like half, Tom? Tom was touched. No, thank you. You have it. You need to get your strength up. I'll have, said George. In fact, if you want, I'll have more than half. Let Sally eat a bun, said Tom. It's okay, replied Sally. George leaped out of his bed as the girl broke it in two. There, you. But before Sally could say go, he had taken half of the iced bun out of her hands and devoured it in one gulp. Thanks, Sally, he said. I'm always happy to help. Tom smiled when his eyes turned to Matron's office. She was talking on the telephone, having a heated conversation with someone. What was that all about with Tootsie, Amber? He asked. They know someone's been down in the freezer room, replied the girl. How? Asked Tom. Footprints, wheelchair tire marks, and they're on to us. What are you two conspiring about? Demanded Matron. The children hadn't seen her coming, and now she was looming over their beds. Nothing, Matron, replied Amber. Oh, yes, absolutely nothing at all, added Tom. Matron studied their faces for signs of lying. Tom could feel his face glowing bright red. I don't believe you, snarled Matron. I know you rotten children are up to something. And does she really know? Find out tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, guys, that'll do it for today. Tomorrow we'll be reading The Boy Protests Too Much, chapter 25. So, if you have a moment, find another adventure. Look for some of those books up there in the link. Find your own adventure, and let's keep the adventure going. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, guys.